Marshall Bromley 750 versus JBL Partybox 720. The Marshall costs noticeably more, and the real question is not which one is louder on paper, it is whether what the pricier one actually adds. Longer playtime, more inputs, that Marshall look is worth the extra money over a JBL that already hits hard and lights up the room. Paying more is not always smart, and saving is not always smart either. Let's make it clear. Sound first, because this is the whole reason you're spending this kind of money. Both speakers hit ridiculously hard. The JBL Partybox 720 brings 800 watts, dual 9-inch woofers, and a tuning that punches you in the chest with bass. Owners describe putting heavy EDM and hip-hop through it at near max volume without distortion creeping in, and the highs still cut through. That's the JBL signature. Aggressive, club style, made to make a backyard feel like a venue. The Marshall Bromley 750 plays a different game. It's pushing closer to 500 watts, but climbs to around 127 dB SPL, with true 360-degree stereo and physical bass and treble knobs on the front panel. There's a comment from one owner who already had a Kilburn and bought this one, saying the size is similar to a JBL Partybox, but the bass goes deeper. I take that with context, but it lines up with what reviewers report. The Marshall is warmer, fuller, more musical. The JBL is more in your face. Real talk, if you want pure party slam and chest-thumping bass at full blast, the JBL is the more direct hitter. If you want sound that still feels good when the party calms down and someone puts on a vinyl rip at midnight, the Marshall has more range. One stray review on the Marshall said the bass disappointed at this price, but it's not the pattern. Most people are stunned by it. Now, battery life, because this is where the gap gets uncomfortable for the JBL. Marshall claims 40+ hours, JBL claims 15, and these aren't just spec sheet numbers. With the Lightshow on and real party volume, JBL owners are getting around 8 to 12 hours in practice. Marshall holds up because of how it's tuned. Plus, its battery is LiFeO P4 and swappable, and 20 minutes of charging gets you about 5 hours of playback. Both have wheels. Both have telescoping handles, and both will wreck your back if you try to lift them up a flight of stairs. The JBL weighs almost 70 pounds. The Marshall is in the same ballpark. If you're hosting all-day backyard events without a reliable outlet, the Marshall is genuinely in another league here. For a typical evening party near power, the JBL's 15 hours is more than enough. Inputs and karaoke. This is closer than it looks. The JBL gives you 2 XLR combo jacks, USB-C audio, Bluetooth 5.4 with Auracast, and the Partybox app for EQ and lights. Plug a mic, plug a guitar, link 2 units in stereo, done. The Marshall counters with 2 combo jacks for mics and instruments, RCA, 3.5mm aux in and out, USB-C audio, Bluetooth 5.3 with Auracast and multipoint, plus actual physical tone controls for each input. For DJs and karaoke hosts who want to tweak on the fly without pulling out a phone, those front panel knobs matter. The catch is the Marshall's app is basic, almost unfinished, while the JBL app is more polished. So if you live in the app, JBL. If you live on the hardware, Marshall. On design, the Marshall is the one that looks like furniture. Black and brass, leather-style finish, the iconic logo. The JBL looks like a piece of pro audio gear. More aggressive, more plastic, more speaker. Both feel premium, but the Marshall ages better in a living room, the JBL ages better in a garage or a venue. For lights and outdoor use, the JBL's full-panel light show is genuinely the more cinematic experience, with stars, trails, and strobes synced to the beat. The Marshall has 3 stage-inspired presets, classier but tamer. On water resistance, Marshall gets IP54, dust and splash protected. JBL gets IPX4, splash only. Neither survives a pool. The Marshall is technically the more outdoor rugged of the two. Now, value. They're both in a premium range, but the Marshall sits noticeably higher. What you pay extra for is roughly triple the battery life, swappable LiFePO packs, IP54 rating, the iconic styling, and on-device tone control per input. What the JBL gives you for less is harder bass impact, the more dramatic light show, a better app, and the JBL ecosystem with Auracast pairing across their lineup. JBL also tends to discount more often around major sales events. Marshall holds its price firmer. Here's the call. For most of you watching this, the JBL Partybox 720. Harder bass, more dramatic light show, better app, and you're saving real money for sound that already turns a backyard into a venue. That's the smarter buy in this range. If your priority is all-day outdoor events without a reliable outlet, the winner falls apart. The Marshall Bromley 750 and its swappable battery are in another league. And if you want a speaker that actually looks like furniture in a living room with hardware tone knobs for karaoke, the Marshall, no fluff. The JBL tends to drop more around major sales. Worth waiting if you're not in a rush. And you, which one would you pick? Let me know in the comments. Links are in the description.